Okay, you want to do a chart where the parts of a car are manufactured, and you want to do an impressive chart. So there's a couple ways you can do it. The old school way, where you click on it, and in Excel, you hit Insert, and you go to a bar chart, and you look for something that's like a column chart, and you throw that on there, and that's your chart. Not real exciting, etc. So let's try and spiff it up a little bit and get rid of that. What we want to do today is we want to do a photograph picture chart, and we want to try and subdivide it. You can do it with a picture of a coin or a dollar bill, or in this instance, maybe a car. So what I basically did was I just went to my snipping tool, got a picture of a Tesla, and kind of saved that as a car, and we're going to use that as the example here. So let's start again. We're going to highlight the names and the percentages. We're going to insert, and we're going to insert a chart. And in this instance, I'm looking for a stacked bar chart. So I'm going to put it up there. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And within a chart, you have a chart, and you also have the plot of the chart inside of it. So in that plot area, the chart area, I'm going to actually reduce it a little bit to give myself some working room at the bottom of the chart. Okay. I'm going to highlight the chart, and I'm going to switch rows and columns so I see that the percentages show up across the board. So now we have 50% blue, 20% orange, 20% gray, 10% yellow. Okay. We want something in the background. So first of all, I want to get rid of some of this stuff on my chart. I'm going to click it until I see these round dots. I'm going to hit the delete key. I'm going to click this one and that bar right there. Get rid of that. I'm going to click this bottom area here. Get rid of that. So now it's a real naked chart just with my data. I'm going to then highlight this, and I'm going to go to my fill area. If I right click on it, you can do it there, Format Data Services, and we're going to put a picture. Actually going to backtrack for 1 second. So I'm going to hit my entire plot area, and I'm going to picture that with my car. Now in this instance, I can see that it's a little bit elongated, so I'm just going to try and improve the size of it, and you're going to have to mess with that a little bit. Perhaps that's better there. I'm going to hit this, and I'm going to right click on it, and I'm right clicking on the blue, Format Data Services, and I am going to gap width this thing down to 0. Boom. So it's going to cover the entire car. I then am going to right click on the blue again, Format Data Services. That takes me to the bucket. You can hit the bucket, and I'm going to write no fill. So the first chunk of the car I can see, I'm going to then click there, no fill, click there, no fill, click there, no fill. But I know that underlying are my chunks. Okay. So the first chunk I'm going to do there is I'm going to put a border. It's going to be a solid line. I choose to make it white in this instance. And I'm going to make it width of 9. So it's going to give me a pretty good sized border between this chunk and that chunk. I'm going to do the same thing with the second piece. Solid line. I'm going to make it 9. Same thing. Third chunk, I am going to make it solid line and width of 9. and the last chunk you see. We then going to label it. So we're going to right click on the first chunk and we're going to add a data label. Now you have to sometimes look around. Sometimes it gets hidden somewhere here and you have to look around for it. And you're going to drag it out of it to the bottom. Okay. So you can see the first chunk is 50%. I am going to right click on this data label, format that, and we want the series name, and we want the name below it. So I'm going to separate it and put it on a new line. And I'm actually also going to go to the label options, and I'm going to edit the text. And we can mess with the text, etc. We can change the size and the font, and you can do it all with the same thing. So you can add a data label there too. You can see that this one was easier to see. You can drag it out there. You can have the line pointing to it, or you can add a line and draw it in yourself. You can change by right clicking on it, you can format it and add the series, which I like. You can put it next to it with a comma, or you can put it below by putting it on a new line. And you can click the paint. In this instance, you can change the fill, the font, label shapes, and do all kinds of things. And you can change the chart title, and you can go to the entire chart, and then you can add perhaps a shadow or something like that to the border. Okay, but I think it's a much more interesting chart that might help you get an A on the paper. My 2 cents.